Todd Chrisley lashes out in life after lockup interview. Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another video. I hope everyone's having a great day. Before watching the video, please subscribe and like it. Todd and Julie Chrisley have seen their time behind bars cut short after receiving a presidential pardon back in May. Since then, fans have been tuning in to see how the stars of Chrisley Knows Best are adjusting to life on the outside. Recently, a promo has been shared featuring an interview for the couple. Thanks to the clip, Todd and Julie already had a few words to share with fans. Todd and Julie Chrisley are set to be the subjects of a milestone interview. The Chrisley family was introduced to many from the USA Network series, Chrisley Knows Best, which originally ran from 2014 to 2023. In 2022, Todd and Julie Chrisley found themselves convicted for a variety of charges, including bank fraud and tax evasion. At the time, Todd and Julie were sentenced to 12 and 7 years behind bars, respectively. However, back in May, the two would receive a presidential pardon from President Donald Trump. ABC News Studios decided to have the Chrisley family be the focus of the 100th episode of Impact X Nightline. The episode, which also serves as the Season 3 finale, is entitled The Chrisleys: Life After Lockup. ABC News also recently dropped a promo for the upcoming episode on its YouTube channel, which will see an interview with Todd and Julie. In the video, Todd opens things up by sharing, "I don't have an apology to give you or anyone else over the money that I've made." Todd and Julie Chrisley are stepping back into the spotlight in a way that promises to be unforgettable. After months of speculation, heartbreak, and legal battles, the reality TV power couple is preparing to open up in what's being called a milestone interview, one that's already being described as emotional, raw, and potentially game-changing. For the first time since their convictions rocked their careers and personal lives, the Chrisleys are ready to speak, and the world is waiting. This upcoming sit-down is more than just another media appearance. It marks a pivotal moment in their journey, a turning point that could redefine how fans, critics, and the public at large view their story. It won't be about glamour or scripted one-liners this time. Instead, sources close to the production say it will be deeply personal, reflecting the pain, growth, and revelations that have come from a journey few could imagine. Set to be filmed under tight security and with complete editorial control handed to the network, the interview will reportedly feature both Todd and Julie discussing their separate experiences behind bars, how they've endured time apart, and the strain it has put on their marriage and family. But more than anything, it's expected to dive into the emotional impact, the nights filled with silence, the birthdays missed, and the tears that never made it to the screen. Todd, known for his bold personality and quick wit, will reportedly show a different side during the conversation. Early whispers suggest he will reflect on his time in prison not just as punishment, but as a form of awakening. Meanwhile, Julie is expected to speak with her trademark grace, but also with a fierceness that's been shaped by the unimaginable challenges she's faced. Together, they're said to be ready to talk about the moments that nearly broke them, and the love that held them together. This interview also comes at a time when their family dynamic has shifted dramatically. Their children have grown in unexpected ways, some stepping into the spotlight to defend their parents, others struggling quietly in the background. Fans who followed their journey on Chrisley Knows Best will be watching closely to see if old wounds have healed or if scars remain. This moment, in many ways, feels like the beginning of a new chapter, one not built on perfect images, but on painful truths and uncertain futures. Whether this milestone interview leads to redemption, reconciliation, or more controversy, one thing is certain: Todd and Julie Chrisley are no longer hiding behind reality TV edits or carefully curated images. They're stepping forward with open hearts, battle-worn stories, and nothing left to lose. And as the lights go up and the cameras roll, the world will finally hear what they've been waiting to say all along. The Chrisley Knows Best couple were asked how prison changed them. Among other questions, Todd continued, You don't realize how much your freedom means to you until you don't have it. A voiceover then touched on the work the couple's daughter Savannah took on to see her parents receive a presidential pardon, a goal that proved to be a success. During the main interview, Savannah could be seen sitting with her parents. For her part, Julie shared, "So, I just started crying and I said, yes, I'm getting out of here." During the interview, Todd and Julie were asked how prison changed them. Todd shared, "It has to change you. If it didn't change you, then you're not human." The subject also came up that there were people who felt the couple should still be in prison. Julie shared, "I'm not oblivious to the fact that some people don't agree with it." The couple were then asked what, if anything, they felt they did wrong. However, the promo cut things short before they could answer. The Chrisleys. Life After Lockup should be available for streaming on June 29, 2025 on Hulu and Disney. Todd and Julie Chrisley are finally speaking out about life behind bars, and their answers are as emotional as fans expected. In a highly anticipated interview, the Chrisley Knows Best stars were asked one powerful question that cut to the core: how has prison changed them? Todd, once known for his sharp tongue and polished persona, spoke candidly about being stripped of control, comfort, and routine. He described his time behind bars as a humbling experience that forced him to confront his fears, faith, and identity. Julie, in a rare moment of raw vulnerability, said she learned the true meaning of strength. Loneliness taught her patience, and silence taught her resilience. The couple also answered questions about their children, marriage, and how they survived being separated during the hardest season of their lives. There were no scripts this time, only hard truths and quiet reflections. Fans who watched the interview were left with a mix of shock and empathy. Though the Chrisleys are still facing uncertainty, one thing is clear: they are not the same people they were before. Prison didn't just punish them, it transformed them, and now they're finally ready to talk about it. Todd Chrisley is no stranger to controversy, but his latest appearance on the newly anticipated reality series Life After Lockup has shaken both fans and critics alike. With a fire in his voice and emotion etched into every word, Todd didn't hold back during a tell-all interview segment that aired as part of the show's dramatic rollout. What was supposed to be a measured return to the spotlight has quickly turned into a moment of reckoning, one that's got everyone talking and wondering whether Todd's post-prison life will be anything but peaceful. From the moment the camera panned to him seated in a stark, minimalist interview setup, the tension in the room was obvious. Todd Chrisley, with his signature blend of Southern charm and steely determination, looked directly into the camera and launched into a tirade that was equal parts confessional and confrontation. He expressed deep resentment over how his family had been portrayed, how he had been betrayed by those closest to him, and how certain people, even within the justice system, had painted him as a villain without ever understanding the man behind the headlines. His voice wavered with anger as he called out what he described as a deliberate attempt to destroy his legacy. He said the prison sentence was more than punishment. It was a humiliation campaign aimed at stripping away everything he had built. What seemed to infuriate him most wasn't just the imprisonment itself, but the public narrative that followed. According to Todd, the media circus didn't just report the story, they twisted it, sensationalized it, and turned his pain into entertainment. Now that he's back, he's demanding to be heard on his own terms. He referred to his time behind bars as both soul-crushing and illuminating. Todd painted a haunting picture of what life was like in prison, not just for himself, but for those who had no platform, no fame, and no voice. He said he witnessed systemic issues that deeply disturbed him, including mistreatment, indifference, and a lack of accountability that cut deep. It was in those lonely hours, he claimed, that he saw clearly the broken pieces of a justice system that often fails the very people it's meant to protect. That fire, that purpose, seemed to now fuel him more than ever. But the interview wasn't just about institutional injustice. Todd also pointed fingers at people within his inner circle who he feels betrayed him. Without naming names directly, he alluded to friends turned enemies, family members who stayed silent when their voices could have mattered, and insiders who leaked information to tabloids at his lowest point. His comments were sharp and emotional, hinting at long-standing tensions that may have existed long before legal trouble ever began. The way he framed it, prison didn't just reveal the truth about the system, it revealed the truth about people. Yet, what made the moment even more unforgettable was the glimpse of vulnerability beneath the rage. Todd admitted to moments of despair, questioning his faith, his worth, and whether he would ever see freedom again. He described missing key moments in his children's lives, moments that can never be replayed or reclaimed. He talked about sleepless nights worrying about his wife Julie, also incarcerated, and about how their love had been tested in ways no marriage should ever have to endure. His voice cracked as he spoke of Nanny Faye, the matriarch who kept fighting for her family, even as the world watched with judgment and curiosity. The Chrisley family dynamic has always been complicated, and this interview only confirmed that some wounds remain fresh. Todd's remarks hinted at unresolved tensions with certain family members, and though he stopped short of naming specific individuals, viewers were left to speculate who the targets of his anger might be. Some fans took to social media immediately, suggesting that the family's future on reality television might now be more explosive than ever. What makes this chapter of Todd's life so compelling is the contrast between who he was and who he appears to be now. Gone is the perfectly polished, always-on version of Todd Chrisley that dominated reality TV screens for years. In his place is a man who has been humbled, angered, and seemingly awakened by hardship. There's a rawness now, a sense that he has nothing left to prove but everything left to say, and say it he will. The producers of Life After Lockup clearly knew what they were doing when they decided to give Todd this platform. The show is designed to explore what happens to public figures and everyday individuals once the prison gates open and the cameras roll. But few could have predicted just how explosive Todd's first appearance would be. His interview has now sparked debates across talk shows, social media, and fan forums, with some praising his honesty, while others question whether the anger is masking deeper regrets. In the days following the episode's release, reactions have been swift and intense. Supporters say Todd is finally standing up for himself and refusing to be silenced. Detractors argue that he's still playing the blame game and deflecting from his own accountability. Regardless of where anyone stands, it's clear that Todd Chrisley is once again dominating headlines, and this time, it's not just for what he did, but for what he's become. As Life After Lockup continues to unfold, the question looms: will Todd's fiery return spark a path to redemption, or simply reignite old controversies? There's no easy answer, especially in a family as fractured and complex as the Chrisleys. But one thing is certain: Todd is not interested in disappearing quietly. He's ready to speak, to fight, and maybe even to rebuild. And as long as there are cameras rolling, the world will be watching every word. This interview may mark the beginning of a new Todd Chrisley, less filtered, more battle-worn, and unwilling to play the role of reality TV's lovable troublemaker. Instead, he's stepping into a new identity, one shaped by scars, setbacks, and a desire for vindication. Whether viewers see that as growth or grandstanding remains to be seen. But in true Chrisley fashion, it will be anything but boring. Have you been following Chrisley's story? Are you excited about their upcoming NPCX Nightline interview? Make sure to come back to TV Shows Ace for all the latest reality TV and celebrity news. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, America Trends 24, and stay with us.